The energy around our preseason camp is absolutely electric right now, as everyone waits to see which new faces will step up. Despite a tough loss recently, our head coach just offered massive praise for a rookie tight end who completely shined in his debut. Between a huge opening drive catch and some flawless blocking, this kid looks like a serious weapon for our offense. Make sure to watch this report until the end, and please like and subscribe today. Marlin Klein recorded a 31-yard reception during a preseason game against the Los Angeles Chargers on August 13th. I watched this rookie tight end secure that catch on the very first drive of the contest, and it immediately stood out to me as a potential turning point for this young player. Drafted as a second-round pick to bolster the roster, Klein is clearly earning trust from head coach DeMeco Ryans. Even though the team suffered a 27-7 defeat, that specific play showcased the kind of production the front office expects from him this year. And here's why that's a big deal. Coach Ryans didn't just mention the reception. He pointedly praised Klein for his tenacity as a blocker in the run game, noting he saw the rookie finishing blocks exactly how the staff wants it done. Can a tight end who balances vertical threats with interior physicality really hold down a starting role this early? That is the question on my mind as I assess the depth chart. Fans in Houston have been looking for a reliable target who can open the offense, and seeing a rookie perform with such poise during his debut creates legitimate excitement for the future. I saw him running routes with confidence, and that 31-yard grab was not a fluke. It was a clear sign of his ability to excel in this system. If he continues to refine his blocking technique while maintaining this chemistry with the quarterbacks, his usage will surely increase as the season nears. What does this performance mean for the veterans currently competing for snaps at the position? And can he hold on to this momentum once the intensity of the regular season begins next month? I am tracking his development closely as we move forward through this preseason period. Why would a front office invest such high capital into a tight end unless they plan to use him immediately? Watching Marlin Klein secure that 31-yard catch during the opener against the Los Angeles Chargers felt like a deliberate statement from the Houston Texans regarding their offensive evolution. My sources suggest that Cal McNair and the leadership group are prioritizing versatility this season, and the selection of this rookie was never meant to be a long-term project. What nobody is talking about is the quiet confidence the coaching staff has maintained regarding his transition to the professional level, even after that 27-7 loss. I spoke with people around the facility who noted that his ability to seal the edge was just as planned as that downfield connection. Does his performance suggest he could already handle a majority of snaps in the base formation? From my vantage point, the answer is leaning toward yes, given how much weight DeMeco Ryans placed on his blocking technique during his post-game evaluation. It is rare to see a rookie earn that level of public praise for the grunt work in the run game, and that usually signals a player who has gained the total trust of the play callers behind the scenes. History shows us that early round selections who can master the technical requirements of the blocking scheme become the most reliable assets for their quarterbacks when the pressure of the regular season arrives next month. If he maintains this trajectory, he could force the organization to shift their personnel packages significantly, creating space that simply wasn't available in recent campaigns. I am monitoring his snap counts closely, as the balance between his receiving production and his physical presence will ultimately dictate how much he affects the overall outcome of their games. That performance is more than just a box score highlight. It signals a fundamental shift in how this coaching staff plans to manipulate defensive coverages throughout the regular season. Now here's the thing, why does this matter for the team right now? Because second-round selections rarely secure that level of trust from DeMeco Ryans within their first week of exhibition play. When I analyze the current depth chart, it is evident that his ability to contribute as both a reliable target and an aggressive blocker creates immediate complications for the veteran roster members. The Houston front office needs efficient production to keep opposing defensive coordinators guessing, and by securing that 31-yard reception, this rookie has effectively jumped the queue for meaningful reps. Do you really believe the staff would risk early playing time on a newcomer unless they felt prepared to lean on him during high-stakes divisional clashes? My read on the situation suggests that he is already penciled in for specific packages, which will undoubtedly limit the workload for other tight ends currently competing for roster spots. Looking at the path ahead, his presence on the field forces opponents to respect the vertical threat, which, in my view, is precisely the adjustment required to elevate their offensive ceiling against division rivals. While the loss to the Los Angeles Chargers stung, the fact that he consistently finished his run game assignments proves he has the maturity to handle the speed of the professional level. If he keeps showing this level of technical discipline, expect his snap count to trend upward as soon as the season starts, potentially changing the calculus for the team's entire playoff push. This is not just about one catch. It is about establishing a new versatile identity that provides the quarterbacks with a weapon they simply lacked in previous years. Drafting a second-round tight end like Marlin Klein is a gamble that carries significant upside when you consider the modern need for versatile playmakers across the league. Watching him secure that 31-yard reception during the preseason opener proves he has the raw speed and hands to stress defenses vertically. Here's what people are missing. The real value isn't just in the highlight reel grab, but in the gritty, unglamorous work of line of scrimmage blocking. DeMeco Ryans specifically highlighted his ability to finish those blocks, which suggests the staff values his dual threat potential more than simple pass-catching production. Can he realistically maintain that level of technical discipline when the pads really pop in a meaningful divisional game next month? That is the biggest hurdle for any rookie entering this scheme. The downside, however, remains the inevitable learning curve of the professional game, especially after a team loses 27-7 despite a high-energy start. Some observers argue that relying on a first-year player to stabilize the middle of the field is a recipe for inconsistency. And I certainly see why some analysts remain cautious about his long-term impact on the blocking assignments. Other teams might choose to prioritize veteran stability, yet the Texans seem fully committed to this path. And I'll be real with you, I think the praise from his head coach is the most telling indicator of his trajectory here. While the final score in that Chargers matchup was disappointing, seeing a rookie show that much poise on the very first drive points toward a larger plan for his utilization. If he continues to refine his footwork and timing, he will force defensive coordinators to rethink their entire personnel approach against this squad. I am convinced his development is the exact variable that determines whether this offense finds its rhythm this fall. When you take the debut performance of Marlin Klein and weigh it against the broader roster strategy, the picture that emerges is one of a front office clearly prioritizing high-ceiling versatility. My assessment of the situation is straightforward. The rookie's immediate integration into the passing game shows that he possesses the exact athletic profile required to modernize this tight end room. Let's be real. Seeing a second-round draft pick pull in a 31-yard reception during his first professional action is not merely a stat, it is a statement about his readiness to contribute immediately. The long-term impact for the Houston Texans hinges on whether this dual threat capability allows them to dictate personnel groupings against top-tier defensive units for the next several seasons. If he continues to earn this level of trust from DeMeco Ryans regarding his blocking technique, he will become the cornerstone for an offensive shift that provides consistent spacing for his teammates. Does this reception solidify his status as the primary target in the middle of the field? Do you believe the coaching staff will favor his blocking prowess over veteran experience when the regular season intensity ramps up? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments